Well, they didn't miss many fastballs. And for a guy, throwing as hard as he does, you would expect him, to miss more fastballs. I mean, he had quite a few strikeouts, but most of the strikeouts were on his off speed, on the slider, or his changeup. And so you don't know if they were seeing something or whatever, or, maybe we weren't, pitching inside enough or whatever, but the kid threw the ball pretty good. Surprisingly, he had better command, than I had thought of the strike zone. I haven't seen the videos yet to see if they were in the heart of the plate or not. But, we like what we saw, and it was surprising that, they didn't miss his fastball. And then we got deep in the hole. We had to go with him as long as we did because our bullpen is spent for that 18-inning game. And so, he's got to go back to the drawing board and come up with something else.
What was his demeanor like throughout that, at the beginning and then as things
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was pretty cool, especially in your first start in the face of adversity and being in trouble. And I'm sure it shocked him right away, to have your first big league hitter, hit the ball out of the ballpark, because I'm sure he's not used to guys probably catching up to, his fastball. But, he's young. This is the big leagues. And, you're facing big league hitters. And tell you the future's, very bright. We just got to, tighten up a few things. And, I think he'll be here for a long time.
You mentioned the swings and misses of getting on with break pitches.
Right.
Really throwing a lot of those the game. I guess
Yeah.
typically for a kid, the first time you can throw a lot of fastballs early, but
Yeah.
you wish he maybe mixed in a little more.
No, not really. I mean, maybe location could have been a little better because you want to establish your fastball first in order to make your breaking ball and your changeup better. And then, they didn't really give him a chance to get to that breaking ball. And, they centered up and squared up that fastball quite a bit. I mean, you don't want him to go out there and right away pitch backwards and then get behind and then have to come back to the fastball. So, you got to give those guys some credit over there for doing their scouting report and doing their homework. And, I mean, like I said, it was, we didn't have much offense, to boot off Kashmir. And so, we kind of had, the walking wounded today, to start the game in the first place. Hopefully we'll feel better tomorrow.
Was Stephen Drew unavailable today?
Yeah, he wasn't available today. He was sick too. So that's why I told you guys earlier in the day. I mean, he was more sick, I think, than Anthony. And so he had to get IVs and all that stuff. So you just hope that we quarantined him enough to not walk through our club.
You saw Murphy at third base. What do you think of his first full game back?
Yeah, well, I mean, he didn't get a chance to work out much, because he's barely had time to work out at first base. And then I asked him and Trey, because those are my two options, and Murph said, yeah, I'll play third base, because Trey said he hadn't played since freshman year in college or something. So, you gotta admire Murph for biting the bullet for the kid and for us.